Now our second video starts. After months of knowing him, I ask him his name. Sahib-e-Alam, he announces. He does not know what it means. If he knew its meaning, Lord of the Universe, he would have a hard time believing it. So, in this paragraph, we come to know about the full name of Sahib, which is Sahib-e-Alam, Lord of the Universe. And this name is very ironical, and the situation is very, very contradictory and pathetic, because what we find is that the boy who is so poor, a slum dweller, who picks garbage, how can he be the Lord of the Universe? How can he be so powerful to have such a powerful name? So the name itself is very, very contradictory to what Sahib does. And Anees Jung specially quotes saying that if he knew the meaning of his name, he would never believe it. Unaware of what his name represents, he roams the streets with his friends, an army of barefoot boys who appear like the morning birds and disappear at noon. So, Sahib was not the only boy who used to pick garbage. There was a gang of boys, a group of boys who used to do that, and they all were barefoot. They did not have shoes to wear. So it shows the pathetic condition of the children who are forced to help the adults of their family by picking rags, by picking garbage, not knowing what their right is, not knowing the value of education and the role of school in their life. Over the months, I have come to recognize each of them. And Anees Jung says that over a period of time, she started recognizing all the boys of the group of rag pickers. Why aren't you wearing chappals? I ask one. My mother did not bring them down from the shelf, he answers simply. The boy was not wearing chappals because he did not have them. But he did not want to show his helplessness to Anees Jung, so he simply replies that I could not wear chappals because my mother did not bring them down. Maybe they were kept in some shelf and mother did not keep them down. So it was the reply of a boy, whereas the truth might have been different. The truth might have been that he might not have anything to wear on feet. Even if she did, he will throw them off, adds another who is wearing shoes that do not match. So again, Anees Jung is describing very poor condition of these boys. The other boy says that even if she would give chappals to this fellow rag picker, he will throw them off, and this boy himself was wearing shoes that do not match. Maybe the shoes were of different colors. On left foot, some blue colored, and on right foot, red colored shoes. When I comment on it, he shuffles his feet and says nothing. And Anees Jung commented that the shoes on his feet did not match. And the boy did not answer anything, and he shuffles his feet as if he was trying to hide his feet from Anees Jung. I want shoes, says a third boy who has never owned a pair all his life. Traveling across the country, I have seen children walking barefoot in cities on village roads. It is not lack of money, but a tradition to stay barefoot is one explanation. I wonder if this is only an excuse to explain away a perpetual state of poverty. A very beautiful line mentioned by Anees Jung is that in our country, it is also a tradition being followed on some special occasions that people do walk barefoot. But for these children, it was because of the state of perpetual state of poverty, continuous state of poverty. Because these children were very poor, they could not afford to wear shoes or chappals. I remember a story a man from Udupi once told me. So Udupi is in south, and Anis Jung remembers a story where a man tells her about something. As a young boy, he would go to school past an old temple where his father was a priest. So this boy was the son of a priest, and he would stop briefly at the temple and pray for a pair of shoes. So maybe that boy, who was the son of the priest, would just pass through the temple and he would pray for the pair of shoes. 30 years later, I visited his town and the temple, which was now drowned in an air of desolation. In the backyard where lived the new priest, there were red and white plastic chairs. A young boy dressed in a grey uniform, wearing socks and shoes, arrived panting and threw his school bag on a folding bed. Looking at the boy, I remembered my prayer another boy had made to the goddess when he had finally got a pair of shoes. Let me never lose them. So after 30 years, when Anis Jung revisited the temple, the scenario had changed and she saw a young boy with a pair of shoes and very happy returning from the school. And then she also remembers that the boy who prayed for the pair of shoes some 30 years back, when he got the shoes, he prayed that he should never lose them. The goddess had granted his prayer. Young boys like the son of the priest now wore shoes. But many others, like the rag pickers in my neighborhood, remain shoeless. So you can very well compare the condition of the rag pickers, these poor children of slum areas who are forced into this work of garbage picking. They are known as rag pickers. We have come to know about a boy named Sahib, whose full name was Sahib Alam, Lord of the Universe, but we know his pathetic situation. We also know that he was not alone in this work. There was a gang of boys who did not even have chappals or proper shoes to wear. And thus, we definitely feel very sad towards these little children who do not get the privilege to go to school or to flourish in their lives. We will continue in my third video.